This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out of It. Welcome back, everyone. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know the drill by now, hopefully. Go to all your web zones. Go to your YouTubes, your
Everything.
Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, all the other podcast websites that I'm forgetting about. Go on there, like, comment, subscribe,
Wherever
do all
you
that.
hear this.
Do all that good shit, please. Really helps us out. Helps us make good content for you guys. It helps us build a community because we do suggestions every 5 episodes. And we're doing
Episode after this.
We're doing the episode after this. And this was kind of a suggestion.
So one of you, you know who you are. One of you, as we were in 87, you were like, please tell me you guys are watching Night Screams. And
we did it.
well, looking at the title of this episode, as you can see.
I mean, you've already probably seen the Instagram post if you're on there. Again, you can go follow us on Instagram at TeamCone. That's TMCOAN.
Follow us, message us, whatever you want.
Follow us, message us on that. Yeah, we're all over. So, like, that can happen. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much for listening. I don't know if we have any other business.
I really don't.
I always try and fill like a minute and 30 of business, and it's just usually just telling you guys to subscribe. So hopefully that's okay. We don't do it any other time. So
The only time we will shill is in that first part of it, okay?
if we ever get monetized, we will have to shill that way. But
Well, we'll have to shill
know.
other products and tell you to consume pig,
yeah,
consume fries.
we will make all of our piggies consume.
Our piggy tribe.
But that hasn't happened yet, so we're good.
So right now we are fully independent artists, okay?
Business over. We are self-funded.
Yeah.
We are independent.
Night Screams.
We watched Night Screams, an Alan Plone film. I said it right.
You did.
I said it right this time.
This is my favorite type of thing.
It is.
This is what people would call a regional film, where it's just this movie was made in Kansas, and it's clearly like a bunch of no-name locals. Everything's local.
I think this is I know we've said this a lot on this podcast, and someone could make a super cut of other times we've said this.
Please don't do that.
This is the kind of movie
We made the podcast
that we made the podcast for, because they're trying so hard to be a good movie, right? They're pulling out all the stops they can, because these are very amateur filmmakers, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
And very amateur actors, very amateur everything, right? They're trying so desperately hard to make this like an engaging like slasher film.
Sure. I don't know what they're trying to do. That's my thing.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair too. But what I'm trying to say is, like, no matter what they're trying to do, they are trying.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's not lazy.
It's earnest, right?
Yeah.
They are trying to make a certain type of movie, and
At the very least, the people who made this, unlike some other movies I can think of, are trying to entertain you.
right.
At least there's that.
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. And I don't know, like, overall, spoiler alert, they did a pretty decent job, I would say.
I enjoyed this.
Probably in the wrong ways, but I did enjoy this.
No, I did enjoy this.
But we'll get into it. We'll get to Shitty to Pretty at the end of the episode.
Yeah, it's this is an interesting one. I'll put it that way.
So, typical credits, you just get random, like, people in, like, red and black and
You're skipping the whole thing. The the couple on the couch.
Oh, yeah. And they're watching Graduation Night.
Graduation Day. So you get footage of kills from a different horror movie.
Well, and already off the bat, I would say the unconcerning eye can say that there's something off about the acting.
In this?
Yeah.
Are you saying it's a little amateur?
Just a little.
A little bit.
But
yeah.
what I did notice is the cinematography, for some reason, is, like, pretty decent. They don't just do, like, the set up tripod, start recording.
No,
kind of thing.
it looks like a real movie. But yeah, it's just a couple watching a movie, and
Well, it keeps cutting to full scenes from graduation
Yeah.
day, and I was like, are they really like just splicing in like full scenes from
Yes, they
graduation?
are.
And they did. So
And-
he's making burgers.
and while he goes to make burgers, you see someone grab a knife, and they come up behind the woman, and she just like and spook her, and she's just like, "Oh, it's you."
Well, I know. Also, we're fast tracking this, but like literally, the scenes go on for way too long sometimes, and
You
this.
say that.
Well, this.
Hour and 27 minutes.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so much padding because
Not
they.
that much.
Well,
Really? Were you bored during this?
no,
Exactly.
that's fair. That's a fair point.
The one thing I will say is there's a couple of scenes where
I'm just saying there's a couple of scenes where they kind of linger a little too long.
and like it kind of looks like the actors don't quite know what to do.
Well, that and I would say probably
They're waiting for
we'll
the director
get-
to say cut.
yes, and we'll get to it, but probably one of the most like insane sex scenes I've ever seen in my entire life.
That was not a sex scene. I dispute that, but we'll get there.
They acted like they had just had sex.
I don't care how they acted. It means nothing to me.
So yeah. Anyway, he's like, "Oh, it's you."
So it's like someone she knows,
and
then
she gets stabbed.
She gets stabbed.
And she dies on the couch, and then the guy is flipping the burgers, and he's grilling the buns.
He goes back and he sees her slouched over, and she's dead.
and he tips over his fucking burgers that he just made,
And his beer.
He's like, "No, honey, oh my god!"
And he goes
in and calls the cops,
Yeah.
and he's on the phone with the cops, and he's like, "So my wife has been murdered," and then he's like, 80 yards, it's just, "Honey, no," and then
Yeah.
and then he gets stabbed in the back
And then someone walks over to a piano with bloody hands.
and starts playing chopsticks.
Credits.
So yeah, and then we get the credits. It's black and red, and there's
It's a funk song.
yeah, the funk song and like blood, and then we are introduced to
No, the first thing that happens is there is an asylum and someone's getting released.
oh, that's right, yeah,
They're like, I'm not. It's like a doctor, talking in a microphone. Like, I'm not worried. They've made great progress. I think if we release them back into society, they will adjust.
yeah, we've seen this quite a bit.
Bye.
And then we get like football practice,
yes,
and so it's our dudes, our jocks.
they
and
introduce like
there's like
everybody.
They're introducing a group of friends that eventually becomes the murder party. Like
Yes.
literally. So there's Mason. There's
David.
Dave.
David's our main guy.
So David is the main guy. There's Mason, who's like the douchebag jock guy that like is all up in arms. There's another dude, and then our comedic relief, who I can't remember his name, but I guess he's like the mascot because he's never in the football like field with them,
He has the same locker room though.
which is weird.
Fascinating.
I don't know what he does for the team, but he's
there
there.
for support.
Yeah,
That's the important part.
and vibes
Vibes. There you go.
because he loves music.
Look, I don't know how high school in Kansas works. Okay.
Well, I mean, also, I just want to say this off the bat just to get it out of the way. This is, I love movies that cast people who look a lot older than how they're like supposed to
I will say,
look.
this
Most of them look pretty decent.
yeah. This
Most of
doesn't-
them look pretty close to a teenage age, but there's
a handful.
There's a select few that literally look like they're in their like mid 30s, and they're trying to pass them off as high school students, and I fucking love that.
Yeah, there's a couple that is just kind of funny.
I just wanted to get out of the way because they do like two in particular that like look like full grown, like fully functional, like maybe have kids, adults, and they're trying to pass them off as teenagers.
Well, that and like I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe in Wichita they have nightclubs, full nightclubs for teenagers.
Yeah, well,
We don't have that here.
no, not in Utah.
We'll never have it.
Are you fucking kidding me? No,
We're too boring.
yeah, Utah's too boring for that shit.
But there's like so basically they introduce everybody. There's a new-ish girl at the school.
So it goes from the boys' locker room because you're introducing all the guys that are going to be in the
also,
party, and then it cuts to the women's locker
Before
room.
all that, as the games ended, the main like guy David is talking to his parents, and they're telling him like about how he has a scholarship to Oklahoma University.
Well, and they're going away for the weekend.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, no parties. You have the scholarship to worry about. Like, let's.
And the dad's like,
Well, he's like gung ho about like, hey,
football.
That's all he can talk about. It's like, you're going to OU.
You're great.
You're
Football.
fucking great. Like, fuck everything else. You're going to fucking OU for football.
And of course, there's going to be a party.
Yeah.
At his parents' gigantic fucking
and
mansion.
it's the typical, like, you know, you've seen it a million times
Yeah.
where they're like, no parties, and then what do they immediately do is have a party. So it also introduces the women. So these are the women that are coupled up with most of the
guys.
dudes. Yeah, all of them, except for the weird, like, music guy. He doesn't have
He's
a party.
single.
He doesn't have any.
He's terminally single.
Yeah. He is the terminally single comedic relief of the movie.
Yes. But
And-
there's one who's like she's like new, and everyone except one girl is kind of like super dismissive of her.
Right. There's one supportive girl in the group,
Who's just like tells them like don't be so.
which is funny because I think she's with one of. She's not with the douchiest guy,
no.
but she is with one of the dudes.
Yeah.
That is in the.
She's with the guy who's best buds with David, who gives
Yeah.
him all the pep talks.
It does make sense that she's with him because he gives him like the most like motivational
He's like
pep talks.
he's
ever.
like typical like football dude bro, but as soon as like shit's like serious, he's like listen.
He's like motivational and he's like, bro, you got to get back.
You gotta
out
tell
there.
your dad there's more to life than
You
football.
gotta get back. Like, you gotta stick it to him, and you gotta plant your feet in and say that you're not gonna take this anymore.
I'm not going to OU.
That's basically what he's doing.
It's great.
But I mean, that's at a later like nightclub scene. It's soon, but it's not
But
right
after
now.
all this, there's two cops. They pull up to like a little cafe by
Yeah,
the road.
it's a cafe, and they are like
They're talking about how there's escaped
Well, they knock on
two
convicts,
two convicts escaped from Leavenworth.
and so they knock on the door, and the chef is like, I haven't seen anyone, and then he gets shoved out of the way, and immediately one of the
shotgun.
cops gets blasted, and they start trying to shoot at the other cop.
And he's like calling for help, and the guy keeps shooting at him, and he blows up the car.
And then like the guy's on fire, and he shoots him once, and
well,
then
the other
shoots him on
guy
the
comes
ground.
out and
Yeah.
shoots him, and then they go back.
They go back into the diner,
and there's two like escaped convicts, and the third hoodlum that
I
they
guess.
found, and he's like,
well, he wants to keep one of the women,
"We should take her. We should take her with us."
and they're like, no. They shoot her, and they shoot the
her.
chef.
They shoot the chef, and then the guy they shoot the coffee machine, they shoot the cake,
They shoot the
windows.
window. They shoot like everything.
And then our dude, one of our fucking convicts, he has two pistols, and he sets them down on the table, and he's
and
like,
the guy takes off his leather jacket, and they square up.
they put their dukes up, and they square up, and
And
he
then
throws them around, and then
and he throws him through the fucking. I love this scene because he like the because he's throwing him through the window, right?
Yeah.
But like the dude like slowly approaches the window, and then it is a completely different man as the stunt double with completely different hair
I was gonna say it's our stunt man.
flying out of the window,
This apparently kills him, I guess.
which is also hilarious because I know this is nitpicky, but I just thought it was funny. It doesn't ruin the movie at all. It's just funny because the reflection of the window where he broke it was the cafe sign, and there's still the reflection of the cafe.
That's a great window.
Yeah.
Um,
It reforms itself after breaking.
but yeah, they and then they get away. They walk away or whatever, and then we get our nightclub,
Yeah.
our teenager fucking.
This is where the guy
hoppin' nightclub
Gets the pep talk, and then randomly at a certain point in the scene, they fucking just like remove everyone from the nightclub, and they're like introducing the dancing whatevers,
We get a dance
which
number.
is funny because it's the same. We didn't mention this
Yeah.
because it's like kind of a throwaway scene, but they also have like just a random cheerleading like squad on the field,
in addition to the normal cheerleading squad.
which is really funny
Yeah.
because it's the exact
It's the
same
same
women
women,
that
yeah.
are in the nightclub now.
Yep.
And
They're
so
multi-talented.
they have like a 2-minute dance scene.
With the band playing behind them.
Yep, with no one in the bar.
You know why.
I know.
I'm not. You
But
know
then,
why.
but then it shows him in the bathroom, and he's having like a breakdown.
And you find out that
because he's on medication that kind of like helps keep him
under control,
like regulated.
Yeah.
Because as the youths would say, he's neurodivergent, and so he's.
I think a lot of people in this movie might be neurodivergent.
I think most people in this movie would be neurodivergent. But he's like you show him he takes pills, and so they're like he's trying to like calm down,
and he keeps getting himself like worked up also over.
Well, because it's all about like because he keeps flashing back to like things that have been happening during the day that are making him stressed out, like the football thing.
The fact that he doesn't really care about football.
Well, the fact that his dad is so hard on him about football, and then in another scene we also get him like thinking about like the pep talk that the guy gave him because it's all like this pressure. So the pressure gets to him.
But yeah, they all. They're all there, and like all a bunch. There's also a scene with like some of the guys and their girlfriends, and like all the girls are basically indicating that they're gonna try and hit on David.
Right. They all like make this like weird pact that they're going to like all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one is gonna go for David, except for like the nice one.
Yeah.
And the shy one hears all of them saying it and gets pissed off because David's her man.
And he only likes her.
Yeah, and she gets like pissed off and storms out of the.
But they're all like into it because he's the.
Well, he's like the
star.
He's like the football star quarterback.
Everyone knows he's gonna be a.
We also get a quick scene of the two murderers like driving up on a road, and they like go into the bushes. Do they kill anyone at this point?
No, they one of them like throws away their gun. I think it's because it's out of ammo.
Oh, and then they see the house.
Yeah.
And they start going towards it, and this is where they're all going to converge, right? Mm-hmm. This is the big mansion of the
movie.
He's basically like the dad looks like a stereotypical like oil tycoon guy, and he like talks like a country like fucking like wealthy countryman.
Wears a cowboy hat, yeah.
It's fucking like the fucking live action version of like Dale Dimmadome or something like that, fucking just. You gotta go football. Football.
Fuck your feelings.
He's like my favorite character just because it's clearly a guy that this is his one and only role.
Probably.
And he is giving it his all, being the football dad.
That's how most of this feels like, is, again, you're not seeing, there's nobody in this that you're gonna like.
That's why I love it, because it's earnest.
Yeah, there's no one in this you're gonna recognize from like another movie or something. It's just
I do
fresh.
love the IMDb trivia page where it's like this is all their debuts, and
shit.
I'm like, really? And then you look at like most of them, and it's like because they say debut, right? So like that implies that they're in different movies.
Well, they're not.
No, the IMDb reviews should change their thing to this is their one and only role.
Yeah.
So now the teenagers are going to get to the house.
They all show up.
They all show up, and they
bust out the beer, the wine.
Well, they're all partying, right? And then it also shows a scene of the two prisoners coming into the basement, and they're hiding out in the basement.
Yeah.
It basically just shows them breaking in, and they're just hiding behind the wine racks. Because at a certain point, David goes down to get a bottle of wine, and you see them through the wine rack.
You also see one of them monologue to himself.
Well, he's very much a
Shakespearean theater child.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have a scene of him like holding a skull and being like, "To be or not to be."
But he like monologues in front of a mirror, and it's great.
But like he also monologues in front of the mirror like while splashing water all over his face.
Oh, he gets aggressive with that water.
And then he like dresses the other dude up in like a suit and tie for no reason. I have no idea why. Because anyway, because of what happens, it's like it never goes anywhere. But the kids just keep on partying, and then
everyone hits on David.
Every single woman hits on David
while he's having a mental breakdown.
Well, so like the women will just like throw themselves at him, and just like try anything they can to get into his pants.
And
he like rejects pretty much all.
Yeah, he rejects all of them. And the first death is one of the women hits on him, and he's just like, no, I'm leaving. And he's going downstairs, and one of the fucking... And like
Dennis.
The boyfriend of her is
Dennis
like,
the Menace
like
is
hassles
like,
him.
hey, what are you doing with my woman?
And he's like, nothing, I'm not doing anything. And he goes upstairs and he's like telling her, like, meet me in this room and I'll show you.
So he goes in there and like sits on a rocking chair and gets a fire poker stabbed through his chest.
Him. And then his body's gone. And she starts looking for him, can't find him, and she's pissed off. So she storms out.
Well, and she starts driving away.
And I thought, like, they're really letting him get away?
No.
But no, they got me. They boomed me.
So she gets choked from behind, and like the car pulls over, and she tries to run into a field.
And there's a car on, like, a jack in the middle of the field.
I don't know. So she sneaks underneath the car.
Yeah.
And the murderer just pulls the jack out and
Kills her.
And she gets crushed by the car.
Yes.
Now, a lot of the death scenes are not very interesting or memorable by any means, which is fine because the rest of the movie is entertaining enough to keep you going. But just in case you were like here for the kills,
this isn't.
It's not that movie.
It's not Friday the 13th. Though I will say there is some originality, because one of the next bits is there's a couple, and the girl in this couple was very keen on hitting on our football man.
Well,
and it didn't work out.
Well, she tries to hit on him and then goes back to her boyfriend, and all they do is like watch a porno.
They're watching a porno.
Well, and it shows clips from the porno.
It shows clips from the porno.
And he is fully
enthralled,
100% invested in this fucking porno. Like,
Yeah.
fully engaged
Yes.
in a porno. He's the only man I've seen watch a porno for longer than like fucking like
no,
2
he's
minutes.
in there as she's like crawling all over him, and eventually they
start making out,
and she's like, "Follow me."
and they go into
an idea.
she gets into they get into swimsuits, and they go into the sauna.
And then they make out in the sauna.
And they start like they start dry humping each other.
And we get footage.
And we get footage of the porno of just a woman showering while like rubbing her breasts.
While soaping her breasts.
That's it. And then like then she towels off and then I guess they're finished because
she's just like, I'm gonna go swim. And then he just lays down all like,
well, that's what I'm saying. They definitely like implied that they had full-on sex, but they didn't.
I don't give a flying fuck what they imply.
They did imply that.
I don't care.
They implied it.
Why is he like disappointed?
I don't know, but they're both like, she's like, oh, like, you know,
because she walks away like, I'm gonna go swimming. He just like lays down like, fuck.
Yeah, but
there's no fucking.
I don't get it.
Their clothes are on. God damn it.
They just dry humped each other. So she goes to the pool,
fucking soaked,
starts swimming around, and she swims to the one edge.
First thing you see. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, she swims.
She gets an axe to her head,
but he's the first to die. So she goes and swims in the gigantic swimming pool, and then it cuts back to him in the sauna.
And the murderer just throws a fucking bottle.
You see a bottle explode
at like the heat stones,
and you're just like.
And you're like, what the fuck? And like gas starts filling the chamber.
And then it's a close up.
And he like chokes.
Of the broken bottle. And it has like the skull and crossbones sign with poison under it.
So he dies in the stupidest way possible. And then
have you ever seen that before?
Well, no, but it's still stupid.
Thank you.
It's still dumb.
It subverted your expectations.
Just because it's original does not mean it's good.
I think the fact that it subverted your expectations means that this movie's a masterpiece.
It's powerful.
It's about family.
And so she gets an axe to her head in the pool. And then, let's see. It's the guy, so the weird comedic guy. He's been like pouring tequila shots. He's super fucking drunk. He makes like an inappropriate joke to one of the women.
It's the
shy girl.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people don't know she was in... Something happened to her.
Well, we know.
Because he mentioned, like, electroshock therapy. He jokes that she, like, it fried her brain.
Yeah.
And she gets all upset.
And
if you watched a lot of movies, you
know
can start kind of, like, piecing everything together.
Because they play it off like our football man...
Well, because here's the thing. Like, they play it off like the football man is going to snap, go crazy, kill everyone.
He's unstable.
Because the parents kind of mentioned that he could hurt himself or others.
And there's a scene of the parents at dinner.
We forgot about this sidetrack because they're at dinner and the mom keeps getting worried.
And she looks through her purse and sees a...
Well, she tries to call him first, and there's no... Because the murderer cut
Yeah.
the phone lines. And then she goes back to the table, and then sees the prescription.
She's like, oh no, his medicine. He's out.
And
And
they're like, okay, we got to call him. And they try and call him, no answer. So they start speeding home. We'll just get this wrapped up real quick. So they start speeding home. They get pulled over by a cop.
and he is like the most like he's not like, you know why I pulled you over.
He's like, what's going on? And the guy explains the entire situation, like word for word what's happening. And he's like, okay, I'll give you an escort. Like just nothing. There's like fucking no pushback whatsoever.
But that's all going on.
So they're on their way home.
But
so
there's also a scene where
the comedic relief guy goes into the room. And
there's also a scene where he goes, the comedic relief guy, like he throws a dart at a dartboard and he misses it and it like hits the wall. And our main character gets like annoyed at him. And again, they're setting you up.
He goes and sulks in his room.
Yeah.
And so then our comedic relief guy is like just pissing everyone off, right? Yeah. And so he goes into like his secluded corner and blasts like 80s pop music.
Starts dancing.
Because they were playing pool earlier. Yeah. And then he gets like choked out.
And then there's also our 30-year-old man who goes with his girlfriend
into a hot tub.
They kiss.
And he pulls out a rubber ducky instead of his
He's
dick.
like, I got some for you. And
he pulls into it. He reaches into his pants and pulls out a rubber ducky.
They kiss some more. And then he's like, I'm hungry. And he goes...
This is the weird...
he goes down.
I just want to say... After he gets murdered, this is the weirdest way to introduce a murder weapon I've ever seen.
Oh, I thought this movie was going sci-fi on me. But
I did too.
So he goes down. He goes down. He's like,
can I set this up real quick,
please?
In any other movie, right, or any like party setting, if you've partied like a lot before, when you say I'm hungry,
and you
right?
start going down.
Well, like you say I'm hungry, you start going down on a girl, and then be like, no, I'm really hungry. Like typically, what you would do is go into the kitchen and grab a snack.
Oh, I thought you were gonna comment on the joke they played on you.
Well, no.
Of him being like, I'm hungry.
Well, and then tries to eat her out.
And then he's actually like, no, I'm starving.
But in any other movie or any party setting, you would go and make a quick snack because you want to get back to the action, right?
Wrong.
No, this guy is like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a burger.
He cannot lick poon on an empty stomach.
He has to eat a full 100% beef patty.
This movie has a theme of burgers because the dude in the beginning also is cooking burgers, Will.
Well, yeah, they love it.
And then our dude is cooking a burger.
They didn't take advantage of the grill situation in the beginning.
No, but now they do.
Now they have to take advantage.
I mean, this is by far the most like violent death in the movie.
It's like probably, I would say, the only really violent death.
There's some other ones with blood, but this is definitely the most like gory because
it shows everything basically.
Yeah, because he's cooking the burger, and then someone just like comes up behind him and slams his face,
just smashes his face on the fucking grill,
and they have like his eyes all fucked up, his face is like all grilled,
and then he gets stabbed with a barbecue fork,
and he dies. And
so the woman is just laying in the fucking hot tub.
She's just laying there.
And you see her like grab the rubber duck, and then you see something fucking woof.
You see a light just going in circles.
Woof, woof. I'm like, are aliens coming?
Yeah,
down?
I'm like, is it a UFO? What is happening?
Because you just see a light like entering and exiting the frame,
like someone's
on
like
a rope, fucking swinging it around, and then it slams on the ground, and the light goes off, and then she's like, "Is that you?" And then it hits the ground again, and the light bulb breaks. And I'm just like, okay, we get it. Like, we get what you're going to do. Just throw it in the fucking hot tub. We know you're going to electrocute
Well, don't worry, they do.
And they throw it in the fucking hot tub, and they electrocute the shit out of her. It
cooks her, and it's over.
And that's it.
And
so now our dude, now we get the actual snack situation. Because our other dude, the motivational guy,
yes,
he wants his actual snack, and he goes and he just starts throwing bread, cheese, and meat together.
Like you do.
And he sees the fucking hamburger on the grill
with
and
the blood.
He's like, ew, gross.
He's like, that's nasty, and he leaves.
And he leaves, and he goes into the like billiard room, and he sees the guy lying, and he's like, "Oh, come on, like stop playing around, like let's get up and go." And then he realizes the guy is dead, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then
Lights go out.
all the lights go out, but
And
not
then
the
you
music.
see I think before this, his girlfriend, she goes down to the basement and gets choked to death
Yes.
by our escaped convict Shakespeare man.
And then our Shakespeare man also kills his little henchman
Because his henchman's like, why did you do that?
she was pretty. Why'd you kill her?
And he puts a bag on his head,
And he murders him.
like the movie poster.
We also forgot about the scene. It's kind of a quick throwaway scene, but the main dude is like sulking in his room.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend tries to come up. The shy girlfriend tries to come up and comfort him, and sees a little trophy, and she's like,
Little League.
"Oh, like you were like 9 years old. I didn't know.
I didn't know they had football."
I didn't know they played football.
Like, well, they don't.
They don't. My dad bought a little league team so we could play football. Because again, our hero dad is football, football, football. You know what? You can't play football at
Succeed.
9? Fuck you. I'm buying a little league team, and you're fucking.
Literally.
You're playing football at 9. I'm giving you this trophy.
Yep. And
When I love how our main dude's like, yeah, I like football. I
It's
love
fine.
I appreciate my dad.
I love my dad.
And you could tell he's just like dead
He's
inside.
Not, yeah, you could tell he's not.
It's like that meme of the dog sitting in the fucking room on fire and just
This is
saying,
fine.
"This is fine."
That's him in this whole movie.
And so she like tries to comfort him more, and then so the dude goes down in the cellar because he hasn't seen his girlfriend. This is the motivational dude.
And he sees
I don't remember his name, so I'm gonna call him motivational dude.
He sees the guy with the bag on his head.
And he's like, "Oh shit!" And then he's like looking around, and he has an empty wine bottle as his weapon, and he sees his girlfriend's like feet sticking out from this like curtain,
and he pulls it back.
and he pulls it back, and she just looks like she's asleep, but she's dead.
And he is leaving, and he gets quickly stabbed.
Yes.
In the quickest scene imaginable, he gets stabbed.
Well, and that's the movie's job of telling us that he's not dead because
I guess.
because
in hindsight,
everyone else it like lingered.
in hindsight, yeah, but in the moment, I was like, that was the quickest fucking thing I've ever seen. And then,
So our dude David or whatever his name is goes out on the balcony, and we get our murderer dude, and he's like sneaking up on him, and they start tussling, and he slams him into the wall. They start like
he kicks him.
moving around on the ground, and he's got another knife, and he's like trying to stab David, and the motivational friend shows up with the knife in his back still, and he kicks the other knife to David
To kill the
he like
guy.
stabs him in the side.
And then the motivational guy dies. David wanders into the house, and then he sees...
Well, because we also see like the shy woman she comes from like the basement where something just happened, and then she goes into like another room.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, obviously, it's already kind of telegraphed that the main dude is the red herring,
Yes.
and she is the actual crazy one.
Yes.
And
That's why she's so mysterious.
like you could probably, if you've watched a lot of movies,
If you've seen a shitload of movies, yeah.
you can predict that from probably the first time you see her.
I wouldn't say that, but
the introduction of the party,
I would say the moment that she got annoyed at the
electroshock therapy.
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, because they lean a little too hard on the fact that if he's off his medication, he could hurt people.
Yeah.
And it's just a little too like on the nose if it is that.
Which,
right?
to be fair, I mean,
we've seen movies where we let that
it
has
is
happened.
that obvious.
But I'm just saying, if like any other movie, like if they want to like try and trick you,
Yeah.
that's kind of what they do. They telegraphed it a little too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes in and finds her lying in front of the fireplace, and she's holding one of the gloves that she used to like press the guy's like head into the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Our 40-year-old teenager.
Yep.
And she's like, I did it all for you. I murdered all of them
They
for
were
you.
jealous. They were
jealous. They tried to break us up.
Get you.
Like she's annoyed because all the women were like trying to like get with him,
And then she eventually was like, you're just like them. I saw you.
like you made fun of me just like them,
And then she, starts trying to kill him. And the parents with the cop show up at the house, and a cop walks in and is like, drop it now, drop it now. And then a bang and a freeze frame. And then it's just like, it's like a hospital, and the parents are talking to the camera. Like, I can't believe this happened. I'm so sorry this happened. This is so terrible. And you're just like, they're doing it.
I know what they're doing.
And the doctor from the beginning of the movie shows up too and is like, I'm so glad I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah. Well, and then it shows the shy woman.
Well, it shows because the dad is talking to a cop, and the cop's like asking questions, and he's just saying like, yeah, he, my son, he.
Well, and as it's doing that,
he has a condition.
As the cop is like interviewing the dad, it like cuts to her laying in a hospital bed with like bandages all over, and it like zooms in on her while he's like, yeah, he was a great football star. He's the greatest football star. Football.
The final line of the movie.
Football.
I heard he was a great football player.
Yeah, and so it like shows her like smiling slightly,
And then they play.
and then you hear chopsticks being played.
End credits.
I mean, listen, it is predictable. Obviously, if you've watched these kind of movies, like you kind of know what is happening, but the ride is worth it, I would say.
It's fun.
Surprisingly, and I will give highest praise of this. Some of the oh my god, I cannot talk. Some of the cinematography is really, really good.
No, the movie looks good.
Like it was filmed well. The color grading is good. Like everything works. The acting is a little off because these are all first roles.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of goofy. Like, I mean, I guess the guy who plays David is probably the best actor.
Is it weird that they
kind
of added to it though?
No, it's not weird.
It kind of made it like more enjoyable that they did not know what they were doing.
Because it's like, it's not, I wouldn't call any of it wooden acting, but
no,
it's just,
I mean, they were trying.
It's just like amateur.
It's not like they were like,
it's not boring.
it's not like they were like so bad that it hurt to watch them.
Yeah.
It was just like, some of the delivery were off.
Yeah.
They didn't emphasize certain words that they were supposed to, that kind of stuff, where it was like, you could just tell maybe they were a little nervous, and it was definitely their first ever role.
Well, again, also, you're probably doing people who aren't, they're not trained actors.
You're also probably dealing with a director that's not a trained director either. So, I mean, I don't think anyone in this movie was adept at what they were doing.
I'm sure Alan Plone has made other movies. Well,
and that joke at the beginning of the episode is I kept calling him Alan Pone.
Do you remember? Yeah, if you remember, like 20 years ago,
Pone.
when people would say, "I pwned you, fucking noob."
God, what a blast from the past! That's a dead fucking language.
Listen, I miss that shit. I miss that shit every day of my life. Alan Pone.
Alan Plone
directed concerts for Earth, Wind, and Fire after this.
I mean,
but this was his first movie.
Listen, this is his big break.
Listen, he made a movie called The Phantom of the Ritz, and he had a movie after this called Sweet Justice, which looks very very much like the kind of thing that we will be watching when we get to it.
Okay.
Alan
Plone. Listen, this movie is not the greatest, honestly, but it is entertaining as hell. And there's probably worse ways to spend an hour and 20 minutes.
No, like
I enjoyed it.
I don't have any
big gripes with it. I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
there's nothing offensive about it.
It's just a quick little slasher film with like bad acting. Like, I mean, we've seen those are like a dime a dozen.
I mean, look, a bunch of people in Kansas got together and made a fucking movie. Like, good for them.
But it has the legendary football dad that tries way too hard, the psychotic murderer that talks like a fucking Shakespeare character, and
those little touches.
It's just like little things that make it like give it like a different edge, personality. Yeah, give it like a different feel, like than your typical like stupid slasher movie.
Yeah. Well, plus it's like, I mean, look, it's 1987 is kind of like slasher movies have been going strong for many years now. So it's like, let's add something new.
I do wish one of the slashers, like the woman slasher, had like a mask or something. I like when they have like some like crazy like design or something, which is it's fine. It's just like a crazy woman murdering her boyfriend's friends because
Thirst traps.
because she's jealous.
I mean,
did think that aspect of it was funny, that all the women just want to be with the one dude.
Look,
And they make a pact to literally attack him.
Look, even here, like, I remember how big of a fucking deal high school sports were. So,
I mean, I get it too, but
people
like,
go fucking bananas.
yeah, they do. I don't know. Like, there's worse ways to spend your night. I would say alcohol and friends are probably a good idea if you're gonna watch this movie.
Probably, but if I'm going to be completely honest,
I'd probably watch this.
I could
by
watch
myself.
this on my own.
I could.
Out of like,
I wouldn't turn it off.
yeah.
Let's get to Shitty to Pretty. If you're new here, Shitty to Pretty is our rating system. It's not based on if it's a good movie or not. It's based on if it's an entertaining movie or not.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't think it like is crazy enough to deserve like the 9 or a 10.
No,
But it is good enough to like, because it again, those little touches kind of like added to it for me.
Yeah, guys, I'll be honest. I did end up enjoying this more than I thought I would.
Well,
it's just I don't know. It's like like I said, there's nothing offensive to me here at all.
And I thought the idea of having like a murderous teenage like slasher was cool, and then they added the two psychotic guys.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave it a little bit like more of a like you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, like
I kind of like that they did that because it was unexpected.
Yeah.
Like, because in a normal slasher movie, it's just one killer, but in this you had three.
I was gonna say
At one point, 4.
They basically give you 4 possible suspects.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of liked how they did that, where it was like, you know, they didn't have to add like 2 psychotic guys that are just hiding in the basement.
Yes.
And that one just monologues to himself like endlessly. But they did that.
Won't let the other guy look in the mirror.
But
he looked in the
they
mirror.
did that, and like it added to the entertainment because you didn't know what exactly was going to happen.
Well, even then, like, because I mean, we both predicted it, but it's still. I appreciate that. I appreciate the extra stuff added in as opposed to just them not bothering.
Now, if you're thinking that like they make any effort to kind of like say that these 2 guys in the basement are the ones murdering everyone, they never. It's very apparent that they're not.
I mean, again, we've seen thousands of movies. We've seen countless horror movies. So for us, it's like we know what they're doing. If you're not a fucking dork like us,
Yeah, if you're not a movie
maybe
nerd,
but it's just like for us, it's like, you know, the fact that you never see the murderer or S during the kills. It's like I know what they're doing, so to speak.
I don't know. Like, for what it's worth, though, I mean, honestly, it's a good movie. It's well done. I would say the acting is like hokey, but like in a good way. And I don't know. Like, I just
you get a dance number. What's your problem?
2 dance numbers.
Well, that first
one is like 30 seconds long.
Not even that first one lasted like 10 seconds, and they cut to fucking football dad.
The second one is like 2 minutes long.
The second one's full.
And we get scenes from a porno, which I like is insane. And then we also get scenes from a different movie, which we have seen.
No, we have not.
Yes.
We don't have Graduation Day.
No, we haven't seen Graduation Day. I'm saying we've seen where they just watch a different.
Oh, they watch.
Watch a different movie.
Yeah, no, that was a choice.
Like, that was insane. They literally cut in scenes from different movies, including a porno.
An actual porno
is nuts.
Because every time they cut to it, the film grain's different because the porno movie.
Well, it's also
watching,
like filmed completely different.
Well, that and like you can tell the porno movie they're watching is like 10 years older than this, and it's like.
Well,
why
the sex scene? The quote unquote sex scene that has the woman just randomly showering in the middle of it. I don't. That was a choice.
He was so enthralled with the porno.
Is that what were we supposed to think that's what he was thinking about?
He was so enthralled with the porno that he was thinking of the woman in the porno soaping up her titties.
Yeah, but then why do they act like they just had sex after it? Did he
Reasons.
Could he not get it up because he was thinking of the porno?
Or he was so annoyed with his girlfriend that he was thinking of the porno in the time.
This is all speculation because I have no idea what the fuck actually.
You would have to ask Alan Pone.
Alan Plone.
Alan Pone.
You almost got me there because I almost said it. Alan Plone. Please tell me what that scene was supposed to. What did they have sex in the original script? Were they supposed to have sex?
Probably.
Because my guess. Here's my theory, and I know we're going off on a tangent, but we have some time, so it's fine. My theory, just because it's one of the most insane sex scenes I've seen in recent memory.
To call it a sex scene is bold.
I think that the actor who played the woman
She didn't want to get naked.
She didn't want to get naked, which is totally fair.
Yeah. And they're not going to, and they didn't.
But they're not going to force her. So they had to show.
They compromised.
They had to show titties. And they had the rights to a porno film.
They had the footage. Sure.
I don't know if they had the rights.
Alan Plone pulled the footage out of his personal collection.
I don't think you had the rights to it, but you did it. So here it is.
It's there.
Yeah, it's in the movie. I'm guessing that's what happened, though.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this.
I'm guessing Alan wanted it to be a sex scene.
Because it's a slasher.
But neither of them. Because it's their first role, you're not gonna ask a first timer to be like, "Hey, I need you both to get fucking like fully nude and like try and hump each other."
Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but did you notice there is no actual nudity
in the movie.
In the film?
Yeah,
all the nudity.
It's all in other movies.
Is either from the footage from Graduation Day in the beginning or the fucking porno they insert.
Yeah,
there's no actual nudity in this. The actual movie is deeply, deeply wholesome.
Even the murder scenes aren't that violent.
Other than the Burger Man.
Like, honestly, if you take out all the like snippets from the other movies, this could be rated PG-13.
I'm sure there's like swearing they would put over the top, but it's really, there's nothing here that would like
overly offend people.
Like if you're the kind of if you're the kind of person who can't watch like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street because they're too violent,
or if you're like squeamish,
you could watch this.
This will not bother you at all.
There's nothing in here. Just you might have to look away during the burger scene. That's it.
And it lasts like 2 seconds. So anyway, again,
fun time.
I just thought that like that dry humping scene. Let's call it what it is. The dry humping scene. Was just deeply hilarious. That was funny as fuck.
There wasn't even any humping. It was more like massaging. He was massaging. I'm sorry. She was massaging his back.
The make out in the sauna. What do you want, Alex? I don't know what you want to call it. The making out in the sauna.
You know what I liked? I liked that they had the common courtesy to sprinkle water on them to make it look like they were sweaty.
Even though that sauna was not on.
There's no fucking way they would turn that sauna on. Are you kidding me?
Well, also, the glass didn't fog up at all.
Yeah, because they're not psychotic.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, listen, this scene's going to take like an hour to shoot with all the camera angles, but you're going to fucking sit here and bake, god damn it. I guess they could do that, but...
and they're both like, it's our first movie role. We don't want to get naked. And he's like, it's okay. I got an idea.
Alan Plone was like, you know what? I'll work with you.
Don't you worry. You don't have to get nude. I can add nudity. Don't worry.
We're not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do.
I will add nudity. Don't you worry.
We'll
find a way.
I got you.
Life finds a way.
Through stock footage.
Of a porno.
Of a fucking porno. Some woman showering. Fucking idiots.
Oh my god. Yeah, so,
Night Screams.
We got this through other means. But I think there is a version on... Where can you find it?
Nowhere.
Great.
Hold on.
So don't go watch it because you're not going to be able to find it.
Well, no, this was not... This is not easy to find because I could be totally wrong, but I don't think you can
Watch it anywhere.
see. Unless you have to have like a subscription to some weird, obscure subscription service.
I always wonder when we suggest that, like the one person that like subscribes to like the weirdest fucking streaming service is like, hell yeah,
I got this.
I can watch this movie.
Okay, hold on. Because apparently it's telling me there's a way to watch this through streaming. But,
What?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
We're trying to help the people.
Because
if you want to watch this movie,
like, look, if this movie was on like Tubi or something, we would have watched it there. Well, assuming it wasn't, because how we watched it, it looks beautiful.
all I'm saying is Plex never again.
That was
never
unspeakable.
They did so many fucking ads.
That was actually insane.
Plex has so many fucking ads when you don't pay for the
I
movie.
don't even know what movie that was.
It was Quaded Zone.
No, Quad Zone's on Tubi.
Oh, sorry. No, it was
Tubi saved us.
what the fuck was it? I can't remember, but it was horrible.
Well, yeah, and it was one of those weird things where it was literally the only place to watch it.
But there's like ads every fucking like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was Terror Circus.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The only place to watch Terror Circus is on fucking
It's Plex.
Plex.
Free on Plex.
Not Tubi. Not, Prime or Freevee. Plex. Okay, is this it?
What is it?
I think I remember that.
Alex
I think I
is
remember
still
the
trying
catch.
to figure out where the fucking streaming service. What
It says you can rent this on Amazon.
is that true?
I believe so, but if I remember correctly, and again, if you want to look this up, you could, because it doesn't say on my fucking phone. I think the version on Amazon is standard definition, not HD, because this got released on a like 4K remastered Blu-ray through Vinegar Syndrome, I think. And usually movies that get released through there don't have streaming.
Yeah, right.
That is what we watched. That's the version that we watched. If the one on Amazon is in HD, then honestly, give it a go.
Yeah, I would say it's worth a rent.
If it's in standard definition, I mean, I guess if you really, really want to, but I just like, for me, after how we watched it, I can't imagine can you imagine this not HD?
Like a YouTube rip? No.
It's just, I mean, it's still, I'm sure it's still entertaining, but for me, like, I appreciate how good the movie looks.
I like the crispness. Crispness.
You need to see the dance number in full crisp HD.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can find it, go watch Night Screams. I think it's worth a watch. It's worth it to like just kind of make fun of it and just be entertained for like an hour and 27 minutes.
Be entertained.
It's just good. I don't know. It's just a fun, quick little slasher movie, and
Yeah.
it just, it knows what it is. It does its job, and then it gets out of there.
This is a fun time. Yeah.
I liked it. So go watch it. Go check out Night Screams, and listen. We really appreciate for listening.
Yeah.
For they mostly come out at night. This has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We will talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
I heard they were. I heard they were great podcasters.
Sauna making out scene.
Great stuff, Will.
Great stuff.
Great filmmaking. Yeah, yeah,
the best.
yeah.
Yeah.